Hello, my name is Leonardo and welcome to Bearhead Lake State Park. Bearhead Lake is located 237 miles northeast of the Twin Cities metro area in Ely, Minnesota. The park is managed by the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources for recreational purposes and wildlife. For this video, I will be focusing on the southern part of the park near the Blueberry Lake, which contains primarily mixed hardwood and conifer stand. As offering the aesthetic values for the visitors, the forest is the critical source of food and habitat for black bear, moose, wolves, red squirrels, chipmunks, snowshoe hares, white-tailed deer, and a variety of birds. Hardwood species in the stand are quaking and big-tooth aspen and paper birch, which were quickly established after disturbance. Aspens are pioneer or early successional and fast-growing species, which are shade-intolerant as well as their common associate paper birch. They all can grow best in well-drained loamy soils that are high in organic matter, and they require mineral soil bed for germination. They can also do vegetative reproduction to root cycling and stump sprouts. The other portion of the stand is dominated by red pine, jack pine, and white pine. The pines are late successional, shade-intolerant, and slow-growing species that need a lot of growing spaces. Jack pine in particular is fire-dependent, which means the species is dependent on fire as disturbance for its regeneration. They all can grow well in drained sandy soils with less dense understory competition. In the understory, there were saplings of balsam fir, but the majority remained to be the aspen species and birch. In addition, it is dominated by herbaceous plants like big hazel and dogwood. In seedlings category, red pine and red maple seedlings were also found in the open patches of post-disturbance sites in the understory. It is an uneven-edged stand structure with reverse J diameter distribution. In the overstory, the vertical structure is multi-storied with canopy cover ranging approximately between 60 to 80% depending on the location. The stand also has a lot of decaying snags and blowdown individuals that created openings for the seedlings, saplings, and other herbaceous plants in the understory to photosynthate. This is an old growth forest or multi-age stand with over 120 years old. As identified by the irregular mortality of the individuals, the transition of codominant species to become dominant, canopy gaps due to fallen logs and dead trees, and the species diversity especially across the landscape. Due to the fact that the entire state park is currently managed for recreation, the goals for this stand are to maintain the aesthetic value of the forest and to increase the quality of the stand for wildlife. To conserve the aesthetic quality of the site, promoting the regeneration of the dominant species to fill in the gaps left by the dead individuals, and implementing silvicultural treatments to sustain the growth of the saplings of the favorite species will be the objectives. In order to enhance the quality of the stand for wildlife, retaining dead woody debris and standing snags to promote habitat structure, and maintaining small openings for light penetration to the native shrubs, grasses, and forbs to stimulate new growth and provide mast, cover, and insects will be the objectives for the second goal. To do so, for regeneration, a low-intensity prescribed fire will be useful to expose the mineral soil bed for the species of interest. Artificial regeneration of those species can be implemented in the upland patches designated for regeneration to ensure full site utilization, full stable habitat condition, and visual qualities through time. In addition, mechanical weeding can also be used to reduce understory density by cutting big hazel to open more growing space for the favorite seedlings and saplings and for them to be released from suppression. Lastly, for harvesting, single tree selection will be preferred to create openings for light to reach the forest floor, which will enhance the growth of the saplings and seedlings, and at the same time helps maintaining the food source for wildlife in the understory. According to Minnesota DNR, creating 0.5 to 5 acre openings in where it is appropriate would maintain food availability for wildlife, and according to Minnesota Forest Management Guidelines, retaining posts with a debris of more than 12 inches in diameter and longer than 3 feet would promote habitat structure for wildlife. These proposed actions are not just intended to create an aesthetically pleasant landscape for the visitors, but also to help sustaining a healthy habitat for wildlife.